Now, for those of you who run very large pedalboard setups, like I do, into a Class A combo, essentially running it clean most of the time, I'd like to give you a few tips on how to achieve optimal tone. Starting with the clean sound itself, it's autopilot to try and get this kind of pure, totally clean sound, which is great if you're playing 80s pop, but not just myself but many other guitar players prefer to push the preamp a little bit to get that natural breakup. Now if we need that pure 80s sound, we just back the volume down on the guitar, like I've just done. And here it is back up again. Driving the preamp a little bit harder than you would usually really helps clarify the difference between pickups and pickup combinations, as you can see and hear on this Stratocaster. Having that extra little bit of drive on the preamp also enhances your reverb, be it your built-in reverb as we just heard, or this is an external reverb that's going into the preamp. Gives it a more analog quality. Another thing that can enhance your basic tone is the use of a compressor. Here we are without a compressor, and here we are with a compressor set to an extreme. Harmonics are enhanced, and you can play with one hand if you want to. Here we are without the compressor for slide, and with. Firm belief that everybody with a pedalboard should have at least one TS derivative. Here we have a TS9 with everything at 12 o'clock. Adding a little bit of reverb here and there helps smooth out the TS9's rather gnarly mid-range boost. TS9 for goosing, but let's see what it sounds like with everything flat out. This is the tonal sweep of the TS9. The fact that we got a little bit of drive on the combo, as I mentioned before, in terms of the preamp being pushed a bit more, certainly gives it a more rounded characteristic. Most folks have more than one drive. Here's one of my favorites. Now Boss claims they created the Dyna drive, but take a look at this Drive Master. My volume's full up and this is just with picking dynamics. And I use my TS9 to goose it. So that's the main function of my TS9 at least. I like to use different combinations of drives, not necessarily for different flavors, I do that with guitars, but for different amounts of gain and different voicings. I also use the compressor to help them out here and there. This is the compressor with the Boss OD3. Just for info, of course, I'm using a noise gate. The entire drive section is gated. This will be unbearable otherwise. We've now got 3 overdrives on the TS9 Drive Master and the OD3 along with the compressor. So having achieved these basics, we now have a very firm ground on which we can add our delays and reverbs. The essentials here are basically drive your amp as hard as you can and don't worry about using 3 or 4 overdrive pedals at once. Yeah, just don't forget the noise gate.